All right, it's finally basically over. The final wave of GOAT cards drops tomorrow. Some of these names are just, I mean, you are forcing it. And then some of them are like, I mean, Manute's going to be a god. Hedo's going to be a god. Terry's too short to really be a god, but he's still going to be a god. Mike Bantam's going to be a beast. Netalytic's going to be solid. Pat Burke is actually pretty good. That'll be a really good card. Shout out DBG. I don't know, man. I can't believe they gave Gilbert Arenas a card the day after he gets arrested in some federal gambling thing with Israeli. Like, I don't even know what happened exactly, but something is going on with Agent Zero. He just got arrested. I can't believe he gets a GOAT card the day after he gets arrested. So that's kind of wild. And overall, I don't know, man. It almost seems like they kind of ran out of names because outside of Manute Bol, it's like everybody else here is kind of take it or leave it. There's going to be some good cards in this mix for sure. I mean, Bantam, Turk, Dishinger, Netalytic, Burke, all going to be super solid cards, but Agent Zero and McClung don't excite anybody unless you're a fan of those players in terms of actually using them in my team. And the rest of the group besides Manute are nothing special. Manute is awesome, but he's nothing special compared to the other Go Bigs they've already dropped. I mean, you actually, I almost think they kind of just, for lack of a better term, shot their wad early. Last week was kind of the best they had, it seems like, and they're mostly out of elite level names to drop GOAT cards on, guys, to make people spend money. Now, they're going to try their best. I would recommend and encourage you to not spend money on these cards. If you want to grind for them individually, fully support it. Go for it. I do have to say, if this is anything like the format of the last couple weeks, there will be a 2 players for 60, 1 player for 30, 1 player for 25, 1 player for 20, and then like 3 other players somewhere between 15, 12, 10, 5. I don't know. McClung might be 5, might be 10. Agent Zero, 10 or 12 or something along those lines. I would say 15 for one of probably Bantam or Netalytic or maybe Burke. I would think Hedo probably at 25. I don't know who the other 60 card is though. I bet you anything Manute is 60 pieces. But is there really going to be another player out of this group that's 60 pieces? If there is, that's a ridiculous overestimation of their value, even comparing them to what the other players have been priced, because none of these other players are 60 piece value at all. Either way though, I mean, again, if you want to grind for one of the 20 or 25 piece players, if like, let's say Pat Burke, who's 6'11" small forward, winds up being 20 pieces and you want to grind for it, hey, more power to you. I know there are several people who grinded for like Ben Simmons and Danny Ferry and guys like that this week. And I mean, have grinded for Beasley and other players throughout the season as well, for players who are 20, 25, 30. It's just a lot of games, a lot of wins you have to get to individually get any of these players. So I do think that is something, I don't know. It's just a lot. And I wouldn't spend money to do it. Again, I will say if you spend $400, if my math is correct, you will get 27 GOAT event pieces, 6 from each of the console HOF boxes and 9 from the mobile HOF box. I think I'm not actually 100% confident about that mobile HOF box because again, I haven't opened it, but that'll get you like a pretty good chunk towards one of these players. You know what I mean? It'll get you one of the lower tier players. It'll get you closer to the top tier guys, but even that's $400 and you still aren't even halfway to Manute Bol at that point. Like, I just think in general, spending money on this at this point in the year is pretty ridiculous. Spending your time on it, if that's what you want to do, is completely understandable. It's just not what it's not what I personally want to spend my time on here in July. Not to mention, I don't really have the choice anyway, because I'm moving this next weekend. So I kind of have to pack all week anyway. So I can't grind for these cards regardless. I'll be lucky to get my normal videos out if nothing else. But I will say, I mean, obviously some of these cards are going to be some of the best cards in the game. Manute Bol is what, 7'7" with a 8 something wingspan. Like, is it 8'5"? I don't even remember what it is. Yeah, 7'6" with a 7'6", sorry, with an 8'6" wingspan. I think he was 7'7" in real life, but 99 everything, 7'6" with an 8'6" wingspan, with perfect sigs and likely a very good jump shot, is of course one of the best cards in the game, but it's not really all that spectacular. I mean, or spectacularly overpowered compared to all of the other guys they've dropped. So if you didn't spend money on any of the other giant ridiculous bigs, then don't spend money on on Manute either. The Mirasons and the Tacos, the Simbalars, and the Victor Wembanyama's, and the Sean Bradleys, and the Yao Mings. I mean, there's already, what, is that 5 or 6 of them that are already ridiculously stupid OP giant bigs? What's another one? Who cares? Most people won't have them anyway. That's the thing. You don't see these cards that often because they cost so much money to get. So it's pretty darn limiting in terms of how often you're actually going to see them. So yes, will he be the best center in the game? I mean, he'll be one of them. Depends on the jumper, I guess, if he's actually the best or not. I doubt he's better than Mirasan. But either way, it doesn't really matter at that point. Hedo is really interesting as a 6'10 point guard. If he was a little more attainable, I'd be like, oh yeah, Hedo's going to be a W, but I'd be shocked if Hedo's less than 30 pieces. If he has less than 30 pieces, he's probably the player that's worth grinding, though. Even if it is 30 pieces and you're willing to grind that many pieces, he is probably the one that's going to be worth getting this week, mainly because 6'10 with a 6'11 wingspan will have perfect sigs at the point guard position and an elite jumper. That's a mixture for an absolute end game, like best of the best point guard, no matter what. Can compete with literally anybody at the PG spot. He will be an absolute dog if that is who we get. Sorry, if you're able to get him at all. Obviously, I think getting him is a whole other story, but the card should be very good nonetheless. Terry Dishinger, may he rest in peace, passed away a couple of years, or I think like last year actually. 6'7" though, with a 6'10" wingspan, I believe is going to be a bit undersized, 6'11" wingspan, but still, he's not huge at the shooting guard position at this point in the year. Yes, his stats and badges will be awesome. His sigs will be great. I'm sure they'll give him a spectacular jumper. Big fan of the Dentist, of course. He's had a lot of legendary My Team cards. This one, though, I don't think will be attained by enough people, nor does he have enough to size to really be all that memorable of a card himself. So probably not that insane. I guess we'll talk about Hibachi next because he's the other player in the center. Gilbert Arenas is underwhelming, 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan. Even if he hadn't just been arrested, look, he's going to be great sigs wise and good jump shot and great. There's so many point guards that are better than Gilbert Arenas at this point, though, just because he's 6'6" or 6'4". Like at the end of the day, the card he's a pass. He will likely be the second cheapest player in this. McClung will likely be the cheapest. And I guess while we're at it, we'll talk about McClung as well. Also not a very exciting card. He's a 3-time dunk contest champion, but that's great. He's 6'2" with a 6'2" wingspan. In my team, he is not a card you're really going to want to use in all likelihood. I mean, look, he'll be a great slasher, but every card's a great slasher. I'm sure he'll have perfect sigs and a great jumper, but he's 6'2", so doesn't really matter that much. He's kind of capped in terms of how good he can be regardless. And then you have Bantam, Nedelicki, and Burke, who are pretty much a mixture of all of the cards. They're all kind of the same card, if that makes any sense. Bantam's 6'9". I thought he was 6'10". Okay, so he's only 6'9" at small forward. Obviously, this card's gonna be very good. They'll give him a way better jumper and perfect sigs and all perfect stats and badges. Of course, he'll be really good, but he is only 6'9", and so is Nedelicki. Nedelicki is also only 6'9". So both these cards, while likely very good with great animations and a great release, both are a little capped in terms of how good they can be. There's several bigger small forwards, actually a lot of bigger small forwards at this point in the year. Obviously, Pat Burke is a little bit bigger. I do believe he's 6'10" or 6'11". Yeah, 6'11" with 7'3" wingspan. So he's probably the best of the group in terms of the GOAT small forwards. I would assume that therefore means that he's probably the most expensive. We'll see how many pieces each player winds up being tomorrow. But I gotta be honest, y'all may not agree. You probably do. This is a pretty darn underwhelming drop, in my opinion. I think it's very underwhelming compared to what it could have been in terms of a GOAT Festival drop at this point in the year. But honestly, I think they might just kind of be out of names to drop at this point as well. Definitely not worth spending any money on, though. So that is a good thing. And I certainly encourage you not to. I'll say that. That being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.